Wait another minute, no, won't. Wait another minute, no, won't. Wait another minute, no, won't. Wait another minute, no. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I don't need no permission. All right. Yo, what's good, family and friends, man? My name is Ray, right? The purpose of this video is to honestly help you guys learn information that could potentially help you guys with whatever situation you're in, right? Because I understand, right, that we are in a society where we do work, where we do get paid for the type of work that we put in, right? But understand that you can't get necessarily wealthy off of that, especially with what's going on now, right? Inflation is happening like crazy, right? Today is Friday, April 15th, 2022, right? So understand that, around this time when this video is being recorded, inflation is going crazy. COVID-19 just ended recently, right? And understand that right now we're facing a bunch of inflation in the market. Therefore, everything's going up, prices going up, gas is going up, right? And a lot of people who are still getting paid minimum wage, they're the one that's suffering the most, right? So hopefully this video can honestly help you guys understand how the market works, because there's so many opportunities out there that can honestly help you guys change your situation with the type of money that you're also bringing in. And if you guys actually just use that money that you work hard for and make it work harder for you, then maybe you and your family can elevate, right? And I want you to understand this as well, that yeah, it's good to save money, but understand that if you're putting your money in your savings account, you are losing by default. Reason being is because inflation is happening, like I said, right? So therefore your buying power is decreasing as time goes by, versus if you actually put your money into like either cryptocurrency, stocks, right, bonds, IRA, whatever it may be, or real estates, right? See, those type of assets can I honestly beat the inflation. So what you want to do, fam, is that you want to actually put your money, right, your income in an asset that can honestly beat the inflation itself, right? But today, right, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you guys how to trade. And one of the indicators that I used when I first got started in trading, right? I've been trading for about a year now, and one thing for sure is that trading has truly changed my perspective on how I see the world, how I see the market, how I see what's going on around based off on the news, right? Based off on the prices of what's going on, right? Like gas, right? Back then, I would only see it as like, dang, the gas is going up. But now I'm getting more insight, and I'm also, understanding who's actually moving the market, who's actually in control, right? And I want you to understand that, a lot of people, these days, they have no clue who's actually in control of what. And one thing for sure is that if you don't know who's in control of what, right, you lack of awareness. And when you lack of awareness, now you don't have control over your life. You don't have control over your future, because now you're so worried about tomorrow. You're so worried about trying to make money so that you and your family can eat for the next day, right? You're forgetting of what you really want to be or what you want to do in life, right? So hopefully, what I'm going to show you guys is the most simple, one of the most simple way to trade, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share screen real quick. Let me see. Bam. Right. So looking at this, I have a naked chart. I'm on US 30. The market is closed, right? Today is April 15th. Like I said, today is actually a holiday. So therefore, foreign exchange, right, is actually closed. So looking at this right now, like I said, I'm on a 5 minutes, I'm on a 5 minutes time frame for US 30. The indicators that I'm going to show you guys is EMAs, right? Exponential moving average. There's also one that's very, very similar to it. It's called moving average, right? MA. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and delete this real quick. So I have the DeLorean EMA. So the DeLorean EMA is actually the same thing. It's just that this right here shows a lot of it shows actually a bunch of it pretty much shows multiple EMAs, right? We got the 5, 13, 50, 200, and 800. But what I'm going to simply show you guys is the small, I'm just going to show you guys two different EMAs, right? So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Now, understand before I actually dive into that is that when it comes to EMA, when it comes to actually properly using EMAs, what you're trading, first thing first, you must know how the market is moving. What is the trend line, right? What is support and resistance, right? You got to know market structure. And if you guys, want to learn that, it's actually in my YouTube channel, so you guys can check it out. But one thing for sure, looking at this right now, based upon the structure right here for US 30 on a 1 hour time frame, you can see that the market is actually going down, right? Even on a bigger time frame, like 4 hours, you can even see right here that it's dipping down. Of course, the overall market structure is going up, but you guys can see that we have a fail of a structure over here where now over this is the last known high. We have a failed structure right here, and you can see the market is going down, right? So now, I want you to understand that EMA can actually help you, because what EMA is, or moving average is just literally the last number of candlesticks and averagely of that, right? All combined together and average of that. So for example, right? So I'm gonna go to my indicator real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and find, or I'm gonna just use MA, right? MA. Moving average right there, click it, right? Now, once you click it, what you want to do, you want to modify this. So you guys can clearly see that I have the time frame, the link is 9, right? And then right here it says 5, right? So what you want to do is you want to change this to either 50 or 200. So I'm going to use 50 for now, right? You guys can see that. Maybe it's this. Okay, yeah, it's that for sure. Bet. So it's actually the top number, right? The link up here. Make sure you change that to 50. And me personally, I'm gonna use orange for this, right? Orange for that. Boom. So what 50 EMA or MA, all it is, family, is that it's the last, right? From this, let's for example, right? This candlestick right here. I'm on a 4 hours time frame. Right. And of course, it's saying the MA is actually right there. All it is, family, is that it's literally just the last, right? It's the last 50 candlesticks all combined together, right? Averagely, and then divided by 50. Based upon that number, the market should be on this line right here, right? That's all it is. So if I add another one, right? MA, where you at? The next one, oh no, let me delete this. Let me see how to do that. Damn. Let's see. Moving average. All right, so now I have two moving average, right? I'm gonna go ahead and change this into 200. So it's the last 200 candlesticks all together, right? And getting the average of that. And I'm gonna make this red. Make that red. I'm gonna make the line a little thicker. Bam, boom. So, right, looking at this, you guys can see, right, that you guys can see my candlesticks, market is going down for red, right? And you can see the green for it going up. You have the EMA, the 50 EMA is orange, and then the red EMA is actually, well, the 200 EMA is red, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and actually type that in the chat box real quick. That's a chat box on the screen. Sorry guys, I'm so used to like talking to Zoom, where like when I'm actually talking to people, so it's just like bruh. So 50 EMA is orange, and then 200 EMA is red. Okay, now the rules when it comes to trading, what EMA is this, family, right? I want you guys to pay attention to this. So you guys can see, first thing first, right? So what I want to do is I actually want to go to a small time frame, right? So I'm on a 15 minutes time frame right now. And as you guys can see, right, orange was below the red and it was going down. The market was going down, going down, going down. And as soon as the orange EMA, right, as soon as the orange line crossed above, right, crossed above the red, which is the bigger EMA, right, the market started to go up, right? The market started to go up. And as you guys can see, right, when the small EMA, which is orange, is above red, the market is just on a bullish move, right? So I want you guys to pay attention to that, right? For example, right here, right? Let's do one for the opposite, right here. So the market for EMA was above, right, above the red, and as you guys can see, as soon as it crossed below, right, as soon as the 50 EMA crossed below the 200 EMA, right, the market started to tank, right, tank all the way down, downtrend, right, and then as soon as it crossed above, the market went up, up, and then of course, right, opposite. So the rules is this right here, right? Let me go ahead and actually type it real quick. When small EMA or MA, right, whatever, right, crosses across above big EMA, MA, it's equals buy. When small EMA or MA, doesn't matter, cross below big EMA, right, equals sell. So looking at this, right, this is the rules. All you need to do, all you need to know, family, is this right here. Whenever you guys see the smaller EMA, which in this case, we have the 50, right, orange, and then we have the big EMA, which is red, which is 200, right? So we got the 50, and then we got the 200. We got orange, we got red, okay? So when the small EMA cross above big EMA, it's equals buy, right? Look at this, family, right? As soon as it cross above, you want to get in for a buy, right? And then as soon as it crosses below, right, the small EMA, you want to get in for sell. Okay. So, and I want you to understand, like, this is one of the most basic way to trade. And this is one thing that I had to learn, because I know a lot of people out there, they're using EMAs like, you know, like crazy, and it makes their chart look like, honestly, to me, it looks like a chicken scratch now, just because I like a clean chart. But I know there's a lot of people out there that want to understand what's the purpose of that line, right? Well, this is the purpose of that line, right? So if I was trading, right, and at the time back in March of the 30th of 2022, you guys can see the market was just on a bullish move for a hot minute. And then what happened next is that as soon as it crossed below right here, right, this is an opportunity around this zone, right, to get in for sell. See, the thing is, right, so if you guys see this cross, your opportunity to get in, because you guys are paying attention to the chart, right? You guys paying attention to the candlesticks, because yes, even though it crossed below right here and the actual line is up here, right, the actual price of the market at the time is actually right over here, right over here. So yeah, you just could have got in for a sell and you would have been in drawback before it actually did tank, right? So understand that whenever you're trading like this, you guys got to keep an account on how much your stop loss is going to be, right? How high is going to be for a sell. So for example, right, based off on this, when it crossed, right, you guys can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a cross line real quick. Where's that at? Cross line, right? So right here, shebang, and then boom, right? So based upon this right here, when it crossed below, right, the market was actually at 35,052. And then what happened next is that the market, right? Let's say you got in for sell because you're using this, right? The market actually went up about 100 something pips. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money that you could potentially go and draw back to, right? So what I want you guys to understand is that yes, we are using the big EMAs, right? We're using the big EMAs to see if we're gonna get in for a buy or sell. However, right, you guys can actually get a sniper entry by simply using a smaller EMA. Just like how we use this 250, right? If we use a smaller scale, for example, right, I'm gonna go ahead and actually use, I'm gonna keep the 50, right? But I'm gonna change the color. So 50, then I'm gonna make that red, and then I'm gonna change the 50, and I'm gonna keep that orange. I'm gonna make this, let's say 15, right? So now looking at this at the time, right, based upon the 50 and 200 EMA, the cross was actually right here, right? You guys could see that from where I had marked up. But based upon the 15 and also 50 EMA, right? So now, the smallest the smallest EMA, right, is actually, or MA, is only 15, and then my big EMA is actually 50, right, which is red. So instead of getting in the market with using the bigger time frame, which is over here, right? If you use a smaller EMA, now your entries would be actually a lot better, and it would be right here, because you guys can see that the market, right, your EMA had crossed right about there. So instead of getting in for a sell right here, right, now you're getting in for a sell right over here, right? Exactly where it crossed before. So understand that this is how you can actually utilize your EMAs when it comes to trying to get a sniper entry, right, for either sell or buy, right? So I just give you guys an example for sell opportunity, right? So what I would have done based upon this entry right here is that I would have, of course, got in for sell right there, and then I would have used my little special tool right here, right? And me personally, I like to keep my stop loss just above the last wick right here, which 80 pips is still a lot. I'll be real with you guys. However, you did got in for sniper entry because the market never really went up higher than that, right? And then you guys would have caught all this sell right here. So what I like to do is that, when it comes to entries, of course, you guys know the entry based upon when it crossed, right? Your stop loss should be always above, about where the last previous wick is, right? For either, if you're getting for sell, of course, it would be the last known high, right? And then your target zone should always be the last, right? The lowest zone for that, wherever you're trying to get in. And you guys can see this was the last known, and then the market tanked, and then it sure enough hit the take profit, right? Hit that take profit. You guys can see that. So you guys would have caught about 690 pips. However, right, based upon this risk reward ratio, you was risking 80 pips to gain 690 pips, right? So if you guys do the corrected math on how to calculate a lot size, right, the risk reward ratio for this would have been 1 to 8, right? 1 to 8. So you're risking $1 for you to gain $8.59. I think that's pretty fire. So if you did risk $80 for this, you would have gained $609, right? And of course, if you guys want to get in for a tighter stop loss, that's really up to you guys, right? But you guys could have, gotten lower and lower, right? And then you guys can see, of course, the tighter your stop loss, the better your actual risk reward ratio is going to be, right? So I hope this is making sense. But honestly, this is how to utilize, EMAs. Let's go ahead and find one real quick for a buy opportunity, right? Just so you guys can see right here, right? You guys can see the market was consolidating for a hot minute. So look, watch this, right? Market went down, market went up, but then again, you guys can see this going up and down. So in a sense, this whole thing is just consolidation, right? This right here is just consolidation. Right? So once we had this though right here, we had a break, right? Now, see, one thing that I love about using EMA is that you could have been actually making money on this consolidation based upon this right here. Look, based upon this, right? Small EMA went above, went below, sell. Small EMA went above, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, right? And then if you would have been fired and paying attention at the time back in March 15th, right? You just kind of got in for a buy right here because look, the market was right. The EMA crossed above this, right? The small EMA crossed above the big EMA, right? And looking at this right now, right? I'm gonna go ahead and mark that up so you guys can see. Yeah. Right. So looking at that, that's where it crossed. So paying attention to that, the market would have been at the time when it crossed right here. Right. And you guys can see if you got in for a buy right there, the market never went below that. So you would have never seen a drawback. Right. So looking at this, right, what I would have done is I would have got in and used this position, right? And from my last known high right here, let me see. Bam. Oh, do that again. Bam. So label that as take profit. Move this above as so. And then again, right, with your stop loss, like I said, family, right, it would be your last known wick, which in this case, literally where it crossed, right? That's about 80 pips yet again. However, right, the risk reward ratio for this is 1 to 14, right? And looking at this, family, right, looking at this, man, this played out beautifully. Look, you would have gained right here. Look, 1,100 pips, went back down and hit above that. So you guys could have made a lot of money, right? And one thing for sure is that I always tell my people is that, hey, if you have your stop loss right here, right there, you also want to move your stop loss higher and higher. So once the market went above, right, and you're in profit, you should have moved your stop loss to break even, and then you just keep following the market with your stop loss. Of course, a lot of people would have been out from here. However, if you would have just been playing it smart, right, regardless if the market kicked you out, you would have been in profit. And you guys can see how easy to use EMA when it comes to trading, right? I would have got in for a buy right there, and this is beautiful right here. Because understand, right, moving average, all it is, family, is just the average of the actual market. So the market will never lie to you, right? Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie, right? But that's how you properly utilize your EMA. Now, looking at this, right, I just want to go ahead and show you guys this again. So make sure that you guys pay attention to this, right? When small EMA or moving average, right, cross above big EMA, get in for a buy. When a small EMA goes below, right, get in for a sell. That's all it is, right? There is another sauce that I do want to tell you guys real quick. Let me see if I can find an example right here, right? So I learned this from someone who's actually beast at trading, right? So let's say you got in for a buy, like I showed you guys over here, right? So you guys can see you guys would have been in for a buy, right, the whole time. And you guys see how the market, right, the EMA, right, it was consolidating for a second over here before it pushed up, right? The trick to this, family, is that if you see the EMA is getting closer and closer together, right, it's a potential that the market could either cross and switch, or if it rejects like this, right, if it rejects like this, you're going to have a big push. And as you guys can see, that big push sure did happen, right? So pay attention to that. But with that being said, man, that's all I really have for you guys. I hope you guys got something out of this, right? Definitely subscribe, man, because look, I'm going to continue to, drop videos for you guys if you guys are actually, gaining something from this. Right. With that being said, man, much love for everyone's support. I'm out.